Hello and a warm welcome to all you viewers to another interesting session of Conversation with Guruji Naushir. Me, Sirisha.
And myself, Seema.
Guruji, we have some spiritual questions today coming your way.
Mhm.
Can a person experience the highest state of samadhi without the grace or the guidance of a spiritual master or a guru? For example, Ramana Maharshi. So, this question is coming from Spurti.
Uh, okay. Uh, See, the thing is that the highest state of samadhi is a rather subjective thing, in the sense that different people, different spiritual aspirants experience it differently. It's not a homogeneous kind of an experience. It is something that is experienced by different people in a different way, because samadhi is a superconscious state where the awareness and your state of consciousness changes drastically from the one that we experience in our waking state or in our sleep state. So it's there are certain realizations that happen, and at that point of time, in that state, in that superconscious state, and it is realized by different people in different ways. Okay. Now, to reach that level, to experience those superconscious states, by and large, I don't think it is possible without a guru. So technically, yes, anyone can reach that state. I mean, you're naturally inclined to go to that state. But in practical terms, I don't think you can reach that state without the guidance of a guru, because you won't reach that level. That level is reached only with the guidance, periodic guidance of the guru from time to time, which takes you to that, uh, you can say, position where you are able to then experience the highest state of consciousness or samadhi.
Okay.
Now, even as in case of Ramana Maharshi, they say that he didn't have a guru. Yes, he did have a guru, but only for a very short period of time before the guru put him into, or he went into samadhi, and then for a number of years, apparently, he was unaware of himself. So, I think for few years he sat in that state, state. So, as I said, it's experienced by different people in different ways. Now, not necessarily that everyone who experiences samadhi will sit for 3 years or 5 years in that state. Somebody may be in that state for a few seconds, or for a few minutes, or a few hours. So it's a very subjective experience in that sense, but it is an experience. It is an emotional experience to be in that state of samadhi. But no, frankly, I don't think you will reach that level to be ready for samadhi without a guru. Let's put it that way.
It's a must.
It's a must to reach that level. Then it depends on you. Then it depends on you.
Right.
But even to qualify for that and to reach that level where you could go into samadhi, you need a guru.
Guruji, many times I've seen like Ramana Maharshi observed silence, or many masters observe silence, and they speak very like the few sentences to interpret. And I don't know if I'm wrong. People like us who are not at that level can completely misunderstand their sayings.
Their sayings or their silence? What?
There is silence and sayings, both. Like if they haven't mentioned about their guru, we think they never had a guru. Or sometimes they, no, they say in a very abstract way,
Abstract.
which is again beyond
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
understanding.
Yeah, again, it depends on the personality of that saint and on the role that he has to play in that lifetime. So there are people who would do a lot of talking like me and do a lot of explaining and teaching in that sense. So there are some gurus who have that kind of role. And then there are saints and gurus who speak very little. They teach by experience or their own example, and who don't talk much, but whatever little they say, it's very significant and meant for a certain group of people. So it entirely depends on what that saint has come to do or that guru has come to do, and his own personality also.
So they
So
may
it's
or
not
may
typecast.
not mention about the
They
guru.
may not mention about their guru or something, or they may not mention how they reach that stage.
True.
And many of them are so ready, I mean, from previous lifetimes that
They
they don't
may
need
not
to
actually need that
need that
physical
long
presence
association with a guru.
with the guru.
It can be a very short association.
But at our level, we definitely need. Another question, since we are discussing about Samadhi, Guruji, now people read so much. And virtually they know in words what Samadhi is. Don't you think at times it can play with our mind and can make us feel like we may have experienced Samadhi?
I think if you take that experience, you'll never be in doubt. I don't think so. I think it is not something that will escape your attention.
Rather, it changes you. I think it's more than the way you become after that.
Yeah.
It's not about the
It's-
experience also,
Yeah,
because
it is post that.
yeah, because
It is post
experiences cannot be expressed through words. So if you are just the
It is
same,
post. Yeah,
it's
you
very
you
like
are the same, but something within you changes irrevocably.
yeah.
I mean, you completely change the way you think, talk, believe, and your whole worldview, your perception, everything changes.
Because nowadays samadhi is used like peanuts,
I know,
Guruji.
I know.
This samadhi yoga, that samadhi yoga, as if na samadhi is so easily attainable.
No,
That's why I thought ki
it
it's better to
is
ask you.
incredibly difficult to achieve, and you can in one lifetime, but that requires a completely different level of dedication and practice. Then you can. I mean, it's not impossible for even a person who's just started off or apparently started off on the physical on the spiritual path to experience it in one lifetime. But then it requires that degree of regularity of intense sadhana. Then one can do it, and definitely requires a guru to come to that level.
And that last leg of hand holding
Hand holding is
needed
to
there.
you just got to know what to do next. Otherwise, you're groping in the dark, and you'll never get there.
Thank you, Guruji. Guruji, one more question from Spurti. She says, how to find one's guru or a spiritual master, or how does one attract a guru? Does one wait for him or her to arrive, or go in search of him? Does one have to travel to India in search for a guru? So there are three questions.
Yeah.
How does one
Yeah.
find? Do we attract or
Yeah.
wait for them?
See, no, to get a genuine spiritual guru in your life, it firstly must be in your destiny. So your destiny must have that window of opportunity where a guru can come into your life. That is the first requirement. So if that opportunity or that window of opportunity does not exist, you will not come in front of a guru, or a guru will not come into your life. Okay. Now that is A. So that window of opportunity should be there. B, you have to recognize the guru. And that is very vital because it is important, because your free will works. On the spiritual path, you can't have a gun held against your head and do any kind of spiritual practice. It has to be free will. So to trigger that free will, you have to recognize the guru. And sometimes you may, sometimes you may not. Sometimes destiny gives you a second opportunity, which again you may or may not. But your destiny has to have that window of opportunity. B, you have to make use of that and recognize the guru. Once you do that, then that connection takes place. And yes, then you take it on from there, depending on what kind of a guru he is, what practices he follows or teaches you. Then it's up to you. And then again, it's not necessary that you only find one guru. You may go a certain distance with one guru, then you may go further distance with another guru. It's not mandatory that you have to have only one guru in your life. You can have more than one, but you cannot do guru hopping. Like what most people now like to do is they like to, they like a spiritual buffet. They like to eat from here, eat from here, eat from here. That you can't do. You have to complete one segment of your progress with one guru, and then yes, in fact, then if that is the case, that guru himself will send you to a person who's likely to take you further.
Here I would say, Guruji, if you are so connected with somebody, like to accept him or her as your guru, leaving that person.
Normally you don't.
Normally you don't.
Normally you don't. I'm just saying.
So those who do guru hopping, na, actually
they don't achieve
haven't,
anything.
And they haven't really
don't achieve
considered anybody as their guru.
They don't, not in their heart, and they don't really achieve anything. And the most important thing is the Guru's grace will never devolve on you, because
they have no concept of Guru's grace.
Yeah,
see, everybody on planet Earth, Guruji, feels they are very smart, and and this is what I have been told. Like whoever has been to multiple places, this is okay, everybody has something to give. So why should I be
Confined to one.
satisfied with a little thing? Because every person has something to give, and because I happened to meet you and stayed with you very happily, so I could never understand what they are really looking for.
See, it depends. It depends on what people want. If they want spiritual excitement, then they want to, go from one person to another, seeking new things every year. Because spirituality can be very boring and very repetitive and monotonous. So when they think that, oh, this is becoming too boring, let's try somebody else who has something new to teach. But that doesn't really work, because that puts you back to square one. You have to move forward with the same person with the regularity of a certain practice, which can be boring. That is why tapas is very boring.
So, do you think, Guruji, at some level, the Guru might happen to tell, I have given you everything,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
now there is nothing that I have
Absolutely,
to offer you now.
Absolutely. Yes.
And actually, that is the time.
Then you move on to another person.
So, it's made very clear.
Yeah.
So, Guruji, does one have to travel to India?
See, the thing is, here there is a bit of, I would say, dichotomy. No, you don't only have to travel to India to get a guru. You can get a guru anywhere in the world. But India is fortunate to have a large collection of very genuine gurus. Some of them are out in the open, some of them are not in public view. The reason being that India is probably the only country in the world which has this guru parampara, or the tradition of gurus. And only a guru can make another guru. This is the problem. So, if you have a guru, then another person can become a guru. Now, if you don't recognize a guru, and if you don't have this tradition of gurus, then obviously there won't be multiplication.
Right.
There won't be a growth in that.
The lineage.
The lineages won't be there. And there has to be a lineage. Nobody can just blossom into a guru by his own or her own will. You have to be conferred that title. And that authority has to be passed on. I mean, I would never call myself that if my gurus did not give me that authority. And along with the authority comes certain powers and certain privileges.
Blessings.
And certain responsibilities. Yeah, and the blessing. So this parampara, this tradition is very deeply ingrained in India. And that is why you have so many gurus in India.
So
Genuine
the windows
ones
of opportunities are more.
are more. The windows of opportunity outside are not, because they don't accept people as gurus. They feel, I mean, I'm not, not a question of a judgment or anything, but the culture is such that they feel all human beings are one. So why should I acknowledge somebody as being superior to me or having something better? This kind of thinking prevents them from the humility of surrendering at the guru's feet.
And for them, it's like a subject. If I know everything about this subject, so what Guru is going
What
to do
more can
more?
you
Like,
give? Because
I understand
Yeah.
Kundalini.
yeah, the
If
whole,
like you will be amazed, the more research in this regard is done by Westerners. Like
Westerners, yeah.
the kind of books they have written
Yeah,
about.
because their approach is more cerebral. They want to read, research,
Appeals to the
and yeah, it appeals to the brain.
intellect.
But at a certain point, the brain does not give you the results that you want. I mean, ultimately, your progress depends on the changes that you bring within, not the thinking that you do, not the intelligence with which you interpret things. That is of limited consequence. After that, how you change and what you become is more important.
Not everything you will find in books
No,
ultimately.
no. Of course, you won't find. No, no. You may find an explanation in books, but you cannot find change in books. The change has to come in you.
Guruji,
That is
but
what.
here certain lineages just don't continue. Like
Yeah.
Vivekananda never made
No.
anybody guru, or Yogananda ji never made anybody
No.
guru.
No.
So,
So we
na,
cut the lineage when we do not find a suitable candidate to take over our legacy. I would rather cut that than give it to a crook or a person
who is
who I
not
don't trust or I
right
have
or
no
ready.
confidence who will do it in the right manner, in the right respect, or who would misuse it or have personal gain from it. So rather than risk that, I would cut the lineage and say, okay, fine. When I die, my lineage dies
But
with me.
here, like whoever are the followers, then they quote these lines by Yogananda ji that I will remain your guru even if I am leaving my body. I will
Yeah.
still continue
See.
to guide you
Yeah. Yeah.
because that keeps the flock together.
We don't know whether it is actually said by those saints or not, or the institutions have uh, 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 just put them there. Uh, yes, there in a certain way, the Guru's grace and blessings are always there with you, but active guidance is not. So, your real progress is cut off once the Guru is not in a physical body. But yes, somewhere, because it's such a big entity and a powerful entity, even after post death, a certain amount of blessings and grace continues, but more in your material situations and in your crisis situations. Yeah, you do get a little help. Of course, there are a lot of saints who
So
help after that also.
these followers then what happens to them? Like millions of followers are
Yeah,
just
I
like
guess.
now continuing whatever was told 150 years back,
Sure.
or like now same thing just continues, and na,
Well, if they're satisfied with that kind of
then they need only
progress,
that
they need
much.
only
Yeah.
that much. So, a really sharp sadhak would definitely get another guru in person,
In person.
in physical.
I think that's the no, that's the blessing actually getting materialized as another guru.
Yeah,
The previous guru's
blessings
blessings
would
as
lead you to another guru.
another
Yeah,
guru.
yeah. Like how Babaji told me, I'll lead you to a guru, then you see after that. Like, I mean, it always is the case.
Guruji, so to continue on that question only, so does it mean that if a person has not found his or her guru, they are not ready? Like as the saying goes, when the student is ready, the master will appear.
Yeah, in a way, you have to be ready, but it only then will be in your destiny, number one. Otherwise, you
Right.
will not put it in your destiny.
Right.
And this particular saying is more for you to recognize the Guru. That when the Guru comes in your view, you should recognize him. Though I would say that you cannot follow anybody and everybody because you could get cheated and you could get fooled. There are so many con men in this
Absolutely.
Field.
world. Yeah. So you have to be a little alert, but ultimately you have to balance off your apprehension and your doubt with a certain amount of trust and balance it to find out whether you are with the right person or not. And it has to be a combination of head and heart.
Right.
You can't only rely on your head or you can't only rely on your heart.
Heart, yes.
You have
You know,
explained it very beautifully in your book,
in my books, yes,
Amrit.
I've explained that in my books at much length. Yeah, yeah, how to recognize a guru.
And also, Guruji, when the window of opportunity is there in the destiny, and when those opportunities do come by, is it also important for the person to, open the windows rather than just wait ki,
Obviously.
he will come up
No,
in
no, no,
front
no,
of
no,
us
no
and then
guru is
tell,
no guru is going to come
you know,
banging on your door and say, "Come
yeah,
on, come out! I've come to take you." No, that happens only in films and stuff like that. You have to recognize the
yes,
guru. Yeah,
yes,
of course, you have to open that window. The
correct.
window will appear in front of you, but you have to open that window.
Yes, absolutely.
Sure.
Thank you, Guruji.
Okay, the next question is by Dr. Ketan Kataria again. Guruji, if the Supreme Consciousness wants every soul to merge with it ultimately, why are things so complicated on earth? Because if the purpose is to come back to me, then why, send them away? Or, I mean, things could have been kept simple, right? Does the Supreme enjoy the drama it sees?
Uh, okay, I'll answer very quickly because we're running out of time. Uh, no, the whole idea of creation is for divinity to experience itself through us. Actually, it is one soul, and we are just numerous reflections of that one soul. So every soul going through every experience is also recorded by the Supreme Soul. So you can say the Supreme Soul is experiencing creation through us. Okay, so it can't do that without our help. Therefore, it has to create, it has to multiply.
Even the pain?
Everything, everything, everything is included in that. Now, it starts from ignorance because those souls go out in ignorance. Only then can they evolve and experience. If everybody came out a complete
Enlightened, huh?
enlightened, as enlightened as a supreme soul, then there would be no experience. Then what would the supreme soul experience? It is still not experiencing anything. So because it is rooted in ignorance, and then the whole evolutionary cycle starts. That is how it takes these various experiences through its millions of reflections.
If Supreme Consciousness knows everything, uh, did he had any idea of what experiences are in store for it?
No, it's not a question of having an idea. The question is to go through it
Go
and
through
to
it.
record that
So
experience. So the
idea
emotion,
becomes reality.
the idea becomes reality, and that reality is to be experienced through emotional, mental, physical
Expression.
feelings, yeah, expressions. That's right.
Expressions.
That's right.
Wow.
So divinity doesn't enjoy our pain or pleasure; it enjoys everything.
Everything.
You know.
For it, it's just an experience.
Yeah, it is recorded as an experience. It experiences itself through us.
Okay. Thank you, Guruji. Okay. The next question is, can meditation and psychedelics have the same benefits for the mind? Because many people consume these drugs to get into meditation or similar experiences. Some people vouch for the experience of bliss, alteration of mood, etc., with the use of psychedelics. There are many writers and even researchers talking about how the two experiences may produce similar state of awareness talking about the so-called psychedelic shortcut, or rather, in medically, they stimulate same centers in brain and release same
Same
chemicals,
chemicals.
whether it's meditation or the drugs.
Right.
So,
So what is the difference? Okay. The difference, to start with, the difference is that all these drugs are harmful to you physically. A. B. They can be addictive. C. They could ruin your life because you would spend too much money on them, which you don't have, and the addictions could lead you to a life completely unnatural to what your normal life would
toxicity
be.
that
The
they create.
toxicity it creates, the disruption of your family life that it can create. So, yes, the technically that the same brain
You get
centers
same
are
experiences
the
also.
experiences. No, but see, no. There is a difference in that experience.
Is it?
Yes, of course. The experience you get through meditation and what you get through psychedelic drugs, it only seems the same. The quality is very different. So, if I were to put it in rather gross terms, it's like you buying a $5,000 Gucci handbag and buying a $50 Hong Kong ripoff. You know, you see the difference between that?
Outwardly, they look
Yeah,
the same,
outwardly,
but
if you keep them, they will look the same. But there is a world of
another
difference when
thing I
you
feel,
actually use
Guruji,
it.
yeah, meditative experiences change you.
Yeah.
Psychedelic drugs, you
They
have
don't
remain
change.
same, or in fact, you can
No,
become
you just progressively become worse. I mean,
worse.
yeah, you
Yes.
don't
So
progress. You
there
don't
is no,
progress.
you don't
You
progress.
get these superficial experiences which are the same, but you do not progress. The meditative experiences change you from within. So that
Okay.
is that. Yeah.
Next question is in similar fashion. Psychedelics or hallucinogens known for the psychoactive substances that produce changes in perception, mood, cognitive processes, and that's why they affects person's thinking, sense of time, emotions, etc. Uh, so, in the same connection, people associate bhang, smoking weed, and chillams as traditional offering to Lord Shiva, and they believe this brings them closer to Lord Shiva. They speak of spiritual and medicinal properties, ki how they benefit.
No, I'll tell you. All these substances are normally abused. They are rarely used, and they are all brain altering chemicals. So, at some point of time, you are going to damage yourself. Okay? Now, there's no doubt about that. Now, if you attribute it to this god or that god, that is only for your selfish purpose, not because that god has told you, please have bhang, please have weed,
So, I
please have
love you
this,
more.
I love you more if you have it. There's all nonsense. This is all very self serving. Okay?
Yes, Guruji. That's all. We end this episode here and see you in the next episode. Thank you so much.